Hello everyone, my name is Florent Farge and today we're going to talk about the best way to light your studio for oil painting. If you only draw, then this is probably not necessary for you, but if you've already painted with oil, you know how annoying glare can be and how crucial it is to have a good lighting in your studio in general. Okay, let's start. Natural light is the cheapest and most efficient way to light your studio. If you have a window that's oriented north, then this is the best thing that you can have. The northern light is the most constant light that you can find. Any other type of orientation gives you very harsh shadows or direct sun rays. You don't want that. Personally, I don't use natural light because I paint very often at night and well, this is not practical. However, if you use a window as your light source, make sure that you don't have light in your back and that your easel is placed sideways to the window, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of reflections and glare. If you're like me and you don't want to use natural light, a very reliable and affordable light source for your studio is to use fluorescent neon light. I use 3 of them on a regular basis for my pretty small studio, but I can always switch one off by rotating the tube. It's a very good option. It is cheap, it is available in every hardware store, and it lasts for a long time. It has great light, very even. So I think it's a very good option if you don't want to use natural light. If you feel that it's too complicated for you to install neon tubes on your ceiling, a good option that you can do yourself is to create a small easel light that you can attach. I made mine with reclaimed wood and some tubes, small tubes that I found at a hardware store. It's very easy to do, very simple. Just make sure that the wires are not in the way, and there you go. You have a great complementary light source that follow the movements of your easel. When choosing a light bulb for your studio, make sure that the color temperature will not distort the colors too much. Your eyes naturally adapt to the light temperature of a room, just like a camera with automatic white balance. But if you paint under a very warm environment, your colors will be off when you take your painting in another room with a different kind of light temperature. So it's very important to try to have a light that is as neutral as possible. Generally speaking, very neutral color is daylight color, which is around 5000 kelvins. This is the best. It's very hard to find where I live, so I generally use 4000 kelvins or 6500 kelvins. However you want to set up the lighting in your studio, you need to think about angle, the angle of reflection. The idea is to avoid glare at any cost. Oil paint is very glossy. It's a good thing. The colors are very vibrant, very vivid, but it also creates a lot of light reflections on the surface. You can think of your painting as a mirror. You can also use an actual mirror to check if your canvas is at the right angle in relation to your light source. You need to avoid to have any reflection of the light source, and this depends on the size of your canvas and the height of your ceiling. It also depends on whether you move or not, so there is no right or wrong angle. Just make sure that you check before you start. To change the angle, you don't have to change the light all the time, but just to move your easel forward or backward. If you can't really move your easel and you still have a lot of glare, you can also try to tilt your easel forward to reduce the angle between your canvas and the light source. Make sure that it is very tight because the canvas could fall. And now you can paint without glare, but it's not super comfortable. The best way to reduce glare is to have a dark background behind you. Think about what your painting sees. If it's mostly black, you will have no problem. I use a large piece of black fabric. This way I can still take it off if I need to. I know that painting your walls with black is probably a little bit extreme, so try to find, I don't know, black curtains or some type of fabric roll. I have most of my walls covered with black, but it's not necessary for you. Only what's behind your back is important. And finally, the last tip to avoid glare while painting is to avoid wearing white. If you wear black, then only black is reflected on your surface and it's not noticeable most of the time. If you want to have models sitting for you, or if you want to light your own subjects in your studio, you probably know that the best type of light is to use a professional softbox. But the problem is that this is very good, but also very expensive. So a very cheap alternative is to use work lights, available at any hardware stores. I replaced the bulbs with two LED 4000K bulbs. And the good thing is that they don't produce heat, so I can touch them however I want, and I can also cover them with a white fabric to make the light softer. I can just add as many layers as I want to produce a softer light. And also a very simple alternative to have a very soft and diffuse light is to bounce it off the ceiling. And finally, one last tip. To make my colors and light cleaner on the model, I separate the light from my canvas and the light from my model. I use a black piece of plastic to just cut off the light that comes from my neon bulbs lighting my canvas. So that way, the light on my model is only the light that I decide to use, and I can always change it the way I like, and none of the light that comes to my canvas is polluting the light that I want from my model. So I just separate the light. Just note that both lights should have exactly the same temperature, or it's going to be very, very confusing in terms of color. Alright, so this is the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't hesitate to subscribe. Leave me your questions in the comment section below. And if you really want to support my work and help me make more videos like this, you can check out my TV channel. Okay, I hope that this video will enlighten your next working sessions. And as always, have fun painting.